It's the same thing that you see Drake experience. So how did he just have? Look, this is the op page.
Right.
He was just winning consistently more than everybody else in the culture, and then these people start to turn into people that feel like they're ops all over the page, big, because they keep watching them win. And then you go, I want this thing forever, man.
Right.
I'm not sure you can have it forever.
Right.
As the year comes to an end, the Drake-opolis keeps getting even longer. Now, recently, 50 Cent appeared on Big Boy, which is the LA hip-hop platform, and talked about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar and all the stuff that's going on in the industry, but one thing stuck out in particular. Now, we talked about Drake has been an artist that's been very successful for the past 15 years, and it seems like his success is the reason why a lot of people hate him. Now, whether the success is him taking publishing on songs, him not doing songs with certain artists, or him lying about doing interviews with certain platforms like Joe Budden and them, people have ample reasons to hate Drake for multiple reasons. Now, some of the big haters in this situation or who are on the top of the list were Charlamagne, Joe Budden, and Ebro. Now, starting with Ebro, Ebro has kind of always been a Drake hater. I've always watched Hot 97, not as much anymore, but whenever artists came on there and they said that they wanted to work with a new artist or they were a new artist and wanted to work with a big artist, they would always say Drake. And Ebro would always kind of turn up his face, but okay, that's cool. And I feel like a lot of Radiohead personalities get upset about Drake and even Cole and Kendrick because they rarely do, interviews in the culture. But obviously, Drake gets kind of scrutinized in most ways because he's light-skinned, he's from Canada, and he feels like he's the least culturally black and he doesn't do anything black, which, okay, I can understand that. Now, when it comes to Charlamagne, OG Drake hater, and Joe Budden, they have their own whole beef. But this whole situation interview was interesting because they talked about the UMG lawsuit that Drake recently had with UMG over the Kendrick Lamar Not Like Us. Now, for those of you who don't know, the whole rhyme, or I'm just going to boil it all down, is that Drake is suing UMG because they allegedly had a lower deal with Spotify that gave them a reduced rate of 30%. So let's say typically when it comes to all these songs, you get paid $4,000 for every million streams, right? So they created a reduced rate, pretty much an exclusive deal, an inclusive deal, where they would give them 30% less of the payment for more streams. That's why Not Like Us on the top of all these playlists, and it was being played everywhere. And it's the reason why the song is damn near 6 times platinum and probably has 1 billion views by now. Now, I say this to say, Drake is suing the label because they let Kendrick Lamar put out a song that defamed him. Now, a lot of people can be like, hey, Drake, why you snitching? That's not hip-hop. Keep it hip-hop. My go-to never. 50 Cent, Ja Rule, Jay-Z, Nas. But here's the reason why I feel like Drake is taking a different approach, and it's not even about Kendrick. People are making it about Kendrick because Kendrick Lamar created a diss record that pretty much called Drake out and labeled him quote-unquote pedophile, which is a crazy allegation with no proof regardless and is the lowest of the low. But it seems like what Drake is doing is he's holding the label accountable that he's also made money from, so it's kind of controversial, for letting this artist put out a song that pretty much defamed his character while he's in the midst of negotiation. Now, we listen to Drake's song, The Red Buttons, all these other cryptic songs where he talks about the LeBron-sized record deal of $400 million and what he's about to do here and there, etc., etc. And even when it comes to Kanye West has called Drake, or should I say Lucian, who's the owner of UMG, Drake's rich baby daddy because Drake gets anything he wants and he's making a lot of money.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy. Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian.
So all of his streams in the number ones is controlled by someone named Lucian.
Now, I say that to say Drake was negotiating a new deal that could have been damn near $500 million, considering the last one was $400 million, and him being this rap beef with Kendrick Lamar, where it's widely viewed that he lost, sort of diminished his value. And not only did the rap beef and the L, I guess you can say, diminish the value, the fact that he's becoming a PDF file makes it even worse. Now, 50 Cent will speak on the battle and say that he liked it for hip-hop because it kept a competitive edge, but he also referenced it when he was beefing with, should I say, The Game. Now, during the time in 2005, The Game was the only West Coast artist who was in G-Unit, and at the time, him and 50 were having beef because 50 was beefing with Nas and Jadakiss. And over the song of, obviously, the song that he had with I got 100 guns on the clips, I'm from New York. So basically, he had beef with Nas and Jadakiss because Jadakiss was on the record and he hated Ja Rule. And Nas beef was something that didn't particularly involve Jadakiss, but it's something far-fetched and close to the situation. So essentially, G-Unit had beef with a lot of people because, 50's a street dude. And The Game was a part of G-Unit, but he didn't want to beef with Nas and Jadakiss. So 50 took that as him being disloyal. And during that time, 50 Cent had his clique, G-Unit. You see me repping it right here. And The Game would release multiple diss records called G-Unit. Now, during the time, they were all signed to Interscope Records, and that's Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. And what happened is 50 Cent is releasing music under G Unit, and The Game, who was in the group because 50 kicked him out, would release GU Not Diss Records. So essentially the same label, Interscope, that was making money off 50 Cent releasing G Unit songs like Stunt 101, all these other hit records, were still making millions of dollars off The Game releasing GU Not, and that was Jimmy Iovine. So 50 would also speak on the situation, how he could relate to it, because the same way how UMG or Ran by Lucian is allowing Drake to get smothered with all these false claims, he could relate to Jimmy Iovine letting The Game diss him and make millions off him, even though 50 Cent put the whole G Unit in position in the first place.
What do you think this is with Drake and Kendrick?
No, I think it's a point where you win repeatedly to the audience, and even the artist community is going, if you win again, how am I have my chance to win? So they would rather see Kendrick in that slot.
Right.
And Drake, you get out of here.
Damn.
That's really the way it goes. But like, you think what he's saying, the system's done. They done it. They're guilty of what he said they did. Like where I'm at Interscope, they are G Unit and GU Not at the same time.
Right. Gotcha. Wow.
On the same system, big. The same person delivering the record telling you to play 50 Cent is delivering the record saying play Game.
Wow.
And it's just business. They're looking at it like it's business. It's selling the record. But everything that they said that he did, that they did for Kendrick, is something they did for him.
I feel like another reason personally that 50 Cent can relate to this situation is because he's been in a situation where people hated him for a reason. I'm not going to say for no reason, because we know 50 Cent is as gangsta as it comes, ignorant as it comes. Even though he's smart, people just don't like him because of how he acts. Now, when 50 Cent was coming up in the game, there was another rapper who was popular at the time, now Ja Rule. Now, they had neighborhood beef that transferred over to the rap game and entered into the rap industry. And when 50 was coming up trying to get a deal, they were blackballing. Just think about someone like, I don't even know what the comparison could be, but think about someone who's like a hot rapper like Jay-Z, and you have a newcomer like fucking Lupe Fiasco. That's low-key even distant to think about. But point is, you have Ja Rule, who was like a hot artist at the time, and 50 Cent, an upcoming artist at the time, and they were pretty much blocking deals saying, hey, if you sign this dude to your label, you're not doing songs with Ja Rule, you're not doing songs with Ashanti, and back in the early 2000s, Ja Rule and Ashanti were creating hits, so they pretty much stifled his growth. Now, not only did 50 Cent deal street beef with Kenneth Supreme McGriff and the whole Supreme team, Jimmy Henchman, World, and all these gangsters from New York, 50 Cent had to deal with the music industry and trying to actually be a profitable artist and get a record deal. And shout out to the boy Eminem and Dr. Dre who gave him the chance. Now, this whole thing going on with Drake is very controversial because on one hand, it's like, nope, Drake's being salty, he lost a rap battle. But on the other hand, it's like, no, Drake is taking a stand against the music industry. Now, I'm going to be honest, right now, the perfect trend, or should I say the typical trend, is to hate on Drake. So people just generally are not feeling him because, hey, you lost, take the L and go away. But it's kind of funny because the same people who were telling Drake to go away so people can miss him are the same people who never really liked him in the first place. So if Drake goes away and lets people miss him, Kendrick put him into retirement. But if he stays around, it's like he's more of a sort of loser. I set out to say, what is the boy going to do? Did he make the right choice? Me personally, I feel like Drake is taking a stand. But like I said, I guess I rock with Drake and listen to Drake more than Kendrick, so I might be slightly more biased. Like I said, it comes down to music, and I'm here for it. It's been a crazy week. We got the whole Jay-Z and Diddy situation I'm gonna cover after. Thank you for watching. Jared Star. On to the next.